This podcast is brought to you by ONNIT. Go to ONNIT.com and look at the great selection of supplements. If you find something you like, press in code Joey and get 10% off delivered right to your house. What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? Uncle Joey coming at you with Uncle Joey's Joint. It's brought to you by the Freeze Pipe. Listen, this is my favorite bong on the market. Smoking weed doesn't have to hurt your lungs. With Freeze Pipe, you could save your lungs and get a nice ice cold hit every fucking time. The pipe comes with a detachable chamber. You pop it in the freezer for an hour. When you're ready to see the devil, you pop it back on the bong and you see the smoke pass through the frozen chamber, make you inhale icy cold fucking smoke, and it's tremendous. You won't lose your voice. You won't cough as much. It's non-toxic, freezes more quickly than water, and stays frozen longer. Freeze Pipe cools down the smoke by 300 degrees. No more burning, no more coughing. Whether you hit a pipe, a bubbler, a bong, a dab, or the fucking new tornado, go to freezepipe.com and press in code Diaz, D-I-A-Z, to save 10% on your first order. Get your bong, pipe, and bubbler today. That's thefreezepipe.com and press in code Diaz to save 10%. If you could smoke them from it, Freeze Pipe will make it. I think they got a frozen apple coming to your house, cocksuckers. Thefreezepipe.com. Use code Diaz, D-I-A-Z. The joint is also brought to you by Stamps.com. Listen, if you own a small business, you know that every penny counts. With Stamps.com, you can save both time and money on postage with premium discounts and great rates. All you need is a computer and a printer. That's it. You print your own stamps at home. No waiting in long lines at the post office. No people breathing on your neck. They'll even send you a free scale so you'll have everything you need. I personally love Stamps.com. This week I had to drop off 4 packages for my wife. We use Stamps.com. Running a business isn't cheap. Luckily, Stamps.com has huge carrier discounts, up to 84% off USPS and UPS rates. Plus, they automatically tell you the cheapest and fastest shipping options. Join the 1 million businesses who trust Stamps.com, whether you're small or big. We'll help you. Set your business up for success when you get started with Stamps.com today. Sign up with promo code Joey for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage, and free digital scale. No long-term commitments. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter code Joey. I love you, motherfuckers. Let's get this party started.
Check 1, 2. Welcome to Uncle Joey's Joint.
What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? Uncle Joey here. May 1st, fucking Monday. And I love when the month starts on a Monday because you get like a fucking second chance, you know? You're like, okay, my April, I fucked it up. I got high. I didn't go to my sister's wedding. You know, listen, man, fuck-ups, they are what they are. And you fuck up, you acknowledge it, and you move on. Then you start all over again. Trust me, this is from a guy who started 80 fucking times over again. That was just in 98. You know what I'm saying? So give me a fucking break here. It was a great week. We got a great week coming up. Tremendous comes out tomorrow. Listen, guys, I'm happy. I'm happy that it's over. I'm sick of talking about it. I'm sick of dwelling in it. And listen, it's in God's hands now. That's it. I did my job. I promoted what I could. I did what I had to do. I put my heart out there, and we move the fuck on to the next motherfucking mindfuck. Speaking of mindfucks, and I say this in quotations, I do not have anything against the transgender community at all. At all. They're growing. People want to do it. Who the fuck am I to stop them? That's why you do it. That's why you move to America. You want to turn into something, especially now that you can identify as anything you want. I could wake up tomorrow and identify as an Asian man. You know, you got to run with it. That's the way of the world, guys. And if you're using it, fucking use it to your advantage. A lot of people have been talking about this. I didn't say nothing about it. I have nothing against the transgender community whatsoever. You know, whatever people, I don't give a fuck. I'm sitting here in New Jersey getting rained on. You think I'm over here hating on anybody? The biggest thing that's happened lately is this Bud Light thing. And let's chit-chat about this. Again, when I think of Bud Light, Budweiser, Ford, Anheuser-Busch, when I think of Anheuser-Busch and I see those Clydesdales, and I think about Ford, and this is as an immigrant. This is a Cuban guy that came here in 1966. Let me just tell you my opinion. When I see Swanson's TV dinners, you know, when I see McDonald's.
It's America.
Yeah, Swanson's TV dinner, it's America, guys. It's as American as can be, okay? We all ate that Swanson's TV dinner. We shit blood for 3 weeks. The little hot apple pie in the middle that you had to release it first. And if you didn't, and the brownie, if you didn't, you didn't grow up poor, or you didn't fucking, you know, it's never too late. You want a dose of reality, go get yourself a Swanson's Hungry Man fucking dinner, roast beef, no, the turkey with the stuffing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and they used to be like a fish. You would turn green after you ate it. But it didn't matter. You weren't going to get the flu that year. Yeah. You know, Swanson's, Ford, Chevrolet, you know, Cadillac. When I think of Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, and all this, I think of America like just in the earliest, this is it. Like, this is American. It's never going to change. It's never going to, this is the recipe, Coca-Cola. You know, these things are as American as fucking apple pie, baseball. These are things that are ingrained in people's fucking, you know, we all hold something. Everybody hates something, but everybody likes McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? I went to McDonald's a couple of weeks ago for a quarter cheese, whatever the fuck they were. I was fucking starving. And I'll tell you something, that quarter pound tasted fucking delicious. I didn't go back the next day. I didn't go back the next week. I was in a pinch. And there's nothing wrong with a nice quarter pounder with a Coke Zero, with a lot of ice. God damn. But again, it's a treat for everybody. We're not talking about McDonald's here. We're not talking about Subway. I don't think of America when I see Subway, all right? Blimpie, I think of America. You know, there's all these companies that are just so fucking American that leave them be. You know, I was talking to you guys, I think last week, or somebody I spoke to about the movie The Offer, the TV show The Offer, how they made The Godfather. And throughout that movie, there's always resistance. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always resistance. When I used to go to meetings in Hollywood, there's always resistance. And it's resistance from one person in the room that's negative as fuck, that likes what he likes. And you're not going to change his mind. You have to educate them to change their mind back. What's going on in America today is a lot of people getting jobs they don't have experience in. I'm giving you a job as a taxi dispatcher, but you've never driven a taxi. Are you with me? There's a lot of this shit going around. You see it when you go out to supermarkets or restaurants, or, you know, we're not as experienced as we used to fucking be. And part of that is no work experience, no experience in the real world. Like I was telling Mike before we started the podcast today, we were talking about what kids learn in school now, that you have so much influence now. And I was telling Mike that in about 3 years, one of his sons going to come home. Mike's going to say something at the table. And one of those kids are going to go, Daddy, that's wrong to say. And you're going to go, what? I didn't say nothing. Because the teachers and the schools and all that shit are going to woke them up a little bit. Okay? And whatever that means. You know, they're going to woke them up to whatever extreme. My point is that I've been dealing with this. Ben Bell is a great book company. Netflix is great to deal with, you know, all of them. But there's always those two people in the room that aren't buying you. And those people are probably college educated. They went to a great college, and they're so stuck on their fucking college diploma. It's so far up their fucking ass that they don't see everything else. They just pride themselves in being smart, which they are, for book smart. But then there's a fucking street smart that you get along with it, and together, somewhere along the line, it just clashes, you know? So when I think of what's going on with Anheuser-Busch and all these people, you know, again, everybody makes hate videos. Everybody's got an opinion in today's world. The web is full of fucking Bud Light things. I looked at it from a business standpoint and how they let people down. Who drinks Budweiser, guys? Who drinks Bud Light? Construction workers? I mean, Budweiser to me is fucking as American as can be. My favorite beer, as much of a hillbilly as I am, I like a cold fucking Budweiser. I'm talking put in the freezer for an hour and give me a frosted mug. There's no better beer than Budweiser in my world. But I don't like IPAs. I'm not really a drinker. But when I think about Budweiser, I think about construction guys after work, you know. I think about people from the South, you know, hardworking fucking Americans, you know, just like my wife. They're from Tennessee. They don't know nothing. And when they drink on a budget. And Budweiser's the beer of beers. Yeah, you could go a little cheap and get a little Rolling Rock or one of the other off-brands. I don't even know what beers cost anymore. But Budweiser stood for something in this country. It's not Heineken. It's not Miller. Miller Lite, I fucking hate. Open up a bottle of Miller Lite and smell it. You'll never drink it again. It smells like piss right off the top. That little air up in the top smells like piss. But anyway, this isn't the critique hour. I'm just talking about the common sense. So somebody went into Anheuser-Busch and said, let's get Bud Light. Because, again, I have nothing against transgenders, but transgenders drink so much Bud Light. I'm just saying, let's cater it to them. Did the transgender community actually reach out to Budweiser and say, hey, we want a beer? No, this was somebody at Budweiser, somebody at Anheuser-Busch. And let me give a face to this person so you understand. He's probably young. He's probably woke. He just got out of college. And he went in there, and he's a good salesman. He pitched these people on this fucking transgender beer can. I don't know the story of the guy or the girl, but let me tell you something. They've lost, Anheuser-Busch has lost billions over this. Like, this isn't just a bad weekend. This is fucking billions. I didn't know about this. Guys, I'm so far behind on current events and shit. I saw all the hoopla, you know, fucking Kid Rock shooting the cans and shit. And that's who drinks Bud Light. That's who drinks Budweiser. It's somebody like Kid Rock. Do you really think Kid Rock or any of those celebrities or anybody in that world, have they ever said, you know, they keep to themselves? That's the most quiet community there is, the country community. There's no East Coast, West Coast rap is war. There's no I hate this. They just perform. They have a good time. The chicks look fucking great. So what would possess you in this day and age to put a transgender on you? I mean, people saying to invest in fucking every other beer right now. Every other, like Sam's.
So many other beers, though.
Right, like Sam Adams. They own Corona.
Yeah, Anheuser-Busch owns a lot.
Owns fucking
so
Corona.
You're going to protest a lot.
You're going to protest a lot. I'm not protesting. I'm not here to talk about protesting. I'm not saying nothing about that. I could care less what the fuck you drink. You know, if I go to the store today, if I've got an urge for a beer, I'll probably drink a fucking Budweiser if I drink one. I haven't drank a beer in, I don't know, it's got to be a fucking year maybe, a Heineken. The Heineken sent me beers and I drank one of them.
Oh, yeah, that was a margarita at the baseball game.
Yeah, that was a margarita. I haven't drank a fucking, man, I love beer. One, and I'm good, because then I got to piss 80 fucking times. But I just can't believe that they would do something like this. And nobody else is jumping on board with it, you know. I'm sure there was 10 corporations that were talking about it. They saw the debacle that happened at Anheuser-Busch, and they pushed that motherfucker to the back railing right now until they can figure this all out. Again, I have no hatred for Budweiser or anything like that, but what were you thinking? What were you thinking just spitting in your demographic's face. And I'm not talking about people from the South are highly fucking religious. Whatever the fuck they are, Seventh-day Evangelists, whatever the fuck they are, Christians, whatever. That's the second half of your fucking beer drinking fucking escapades. And those are the people that you want to insult? Holy fuck. Holy
They mean they don't like their hate anymore.
Holy fuck. I just, listen, man, I wish you all luck in the world, Budweiser. I'm not boycotting you. I'm not mad at you. But you fucked up. That was a big fucking fuck up. And I'm sure somebody's sitting down right now with his hands tied behind his back, and there's a chubby redneck just hitting him with a glove. Like, you fucked up. We lost all this money because what was the purpose of it?
They didn't like those kind of people drinking their beer.
Okay, well, then what are they going to get now? I mean, I'm not being an asshole, but when was the last time you seen a transgender on a fucking Clydesdale? You know, when was the last time you seen? No, it's you know, you can't get mad. You can just laugh like I'm doing. But it just goes to show you where the world is going right now. It's going to a place where sometimes you look at it and go, what the fuck is that? What are they talking about? But then you go, you know what? It's the way of the world. It's really got nothing to do. I went to fucking Austin last week, and the Uber driver showed me a video. I mean, this guy was fucking furious in the car. Spanish, Cuban guy. Furious. And I go, what are you mad about? He goes, this fucking Biden, fucking those Cubans, bro. They're Trumpers.
Yeah.
Oh, those Cubans are fucking Trumpers. He was telling me that Biden did something, passed a fucking law to fucking, what is that shit when you buy a mortgage, you have to pay $40 extra to help somebody with a bad credit rating and shit. Cubans come, they smell that shit. That's socialism. They smell that shit and they get fucking angry. But hey, I'm not a political fucking advocate. I don't give a fuck. Budweiser, good luck to you. I don't know how you're going to get yourself out of this one. You have to put a fucking cowboy with a big dick on the can just to get back on this. So good luck to you. Again, I have no hatred for Budweiser or anything. My big question was, what the fuck were you thinking? What the fuck were you thinking? Anyway, I want to talk to you about something. One of the things I failed to put in the book that I want to talk to you guys about, I forgot all about it. And I remembered when I told the story a couple of years ago on Sickler's podcast about 1991, 1990. When I lived in Boulder, I did time with this guy, Michael Bell, and he fucking escaped 8 months later. I wasn't friends with him. I knew him. I said hello to him a couple times. And he escaped, and he shot 4 kids in Boulder, and then they shot him in the neck, and fucking, they shot him in the neck, and they couldn't get the bullet out, so they had to call a special surgeon. And one of the surgeons was, the surgeon that they called, that guy had shot his kid, killed his kid early in the day, and they wanted him to operate. A fucking tremendous story. There was a lot of crazy things going on in Boulder in those days. Before I got locked up, I was enrolled at CU Boulder as a full-time student. I was going to start September, and I got sentenced August 15th. So that all fell apart. I was on campus, you know, and I would see different people. And I had a health and fitness class, and I became friends with Mike Pritchard in that. He was one of the wide receivers for the Colorado Buffaloes. And then I met Canavis McGee, and I met some other guys. And, you know, I wasn't a big Colorado football fan. But you know what? I was finally going to go into college. They were giving me a bunch of money to go to college. And I'm like, you know what, man? I'm going to be a college kid. Even at 25 years old. I'm going to put a backwards hat on and walk on campus like a fucking college kid. And then that all ended when I got sentenced. But when I came out in 89, I waited a few months, and then I said, let me go back to continuing ed. And I went to continuing ed. I was selling Subarus I was selling Toyotas. And I was taking 2 classes a week. And I met, you know, a couple other people while I was taking the night classes. And one of them was this girl, and she was like a trainer. She was like a tape girl. You know, people who put tapes on ankles and shit on the Colorado football team. She was a dear friend of mine. Her name was Joyce. And she invited me to a party one day, and I went over there, and I ended up meeting a lot of the football players. Chad Smith, Chad Brown. He had a bunch of snakes and shit in his house. I met Christian Fourier. I met a bunch of them, and they were all very nice. In fact, I hooked up with Christian Fourier years later in Seattle when he played for the Seahawks, and I was living in Seattle, and he would go to Swanee's, and he remembered me, and we talked and stuff. So I wasn't a football guy, but I liked those guys. I knew some of the guys from the basketball team. I knew some of the guys from the weightlifting. You know, I just knew a couple guys. I didn't hang out with them. Shortly after I enrolled in school, I got invited to a football game. Like when I went back to continuing ed, I got invited to a football game, and I saw a quarterback named Sal Onnessi. He was a freshman, and he threw for like 3 touchdowns that fucking day, 2 touchdowns. He was great. Somebody invited me to a game, and I went. And shortly after that, I was selling Toyotas, and somebody contacted me. When I first got to Boulder in November of '86, I needed a job. So I got a job at the car wash, the Puddle Car Wash. I worked there as a towel guy for about 3 months. You know, it was $6 an hour plus tips. You made about $75 a day, but you froze your fucking ass off and you worked, dog. You had to wipe down cars and vacuum and shit. It was fucking work. But you know what, man? I was dumb. I didn't have any plans. I had no high school diploma. This is what I had to do. Years later, they called me back, and they're like, hey, man, we want to talk to you about a position over here if you want to take it. And I'm like, sure. And they're like, we want you to be our host. That's where you greet people and sell them. And I was like, it's great. You make like $1,500 a week, and you work 3 days a week. I was like, what? In Boulder? And they're like, yeah, man, it's great money. And if you work 5 or 6 days a week, but you have to share the job with this other guy. So my job was to get the other guy to quit, but that was later on. This Puddle Car Wash was one of CU's biggest boosters. The guy that owned it, his name was Howard. Sweetheart of a guy, his wife. I worked for a guy named Richie, and there was a black dude there that played for CU football. He was just a great guy. His name was Howard. And they hired me, and, you know, I would meet all the coaches. I met Gary, the assistant offensive coordinator. I met a bunch of guys. I also met the DA of Boulder, who got me off probation after I got out of prison and parole. I met a lot of people there. It was a great job for me. I got to meet the McCarthys, the wife and the coach, you know. Nice people, you know. Irish Catholics, Irish, my type of fucking people. She was always very nice. I didn't know nothing about nothing, and all of a sudden one fucking day, I hear that she's pregnant. The daughter is pregnant with the quarterback's son. You know, and there's a big scandal going on in Boulder. I don't give a fuck about scandals or anything. I'm just paying attention for that. And shortly after that, it was revealed that he had stomach cancer, unoperable stomach cancer. This fucking 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid from Oceanside, California, who was fucking great. The reason why I'm telling you all this is because I saw the 30 for 30. The other night I saw it was on, and I taped it. I'd never seen it before. And I put it on, and I had forgotten about my time in Boulder, and I was just trying to be normal, guys. I had gotten the biggest second chance of my life by being able to go to college with money, with Pell Grants and fucking, you know, loans and shit, but it wasn't costing me an arm and a leg. I was proud of that. You know, I was proud when I walked on the campus. I felt like a fucking $1,000,000. Like, I'm like, my friends from Jersey will never believe this, that I'm on a CU Boulder campus, not a CU Boulder Extension campus, not a CU State campus. I'm at the University of Colorado, GED, quit school, and I'm walking around like I own the joint, you know. And it was just fun, guys. And again, for me, it was a mind fuck. I had forgotten who I was. I'd forgotten that I was just a dirty fucking criminal from North Bergen, but it felt good just to dream, you know. It always feels good just to dream, you know, walking around campus and shit like that. And the football team got popular, and then they lost to Notre Dame in the championship game. They made it to the fucking Orange Bowl. And that's when I was really involved, in 91. And then going into the second season, that's when Sal Onnessi died, and they dedicated the season to him, and they fucking went to the Orange Bowl, and they won. I was all a part of that in a way. Like, not that I played football, not that I was a sponsor, or not that I was, you know, I was there. It was just so weird that I was there for all this. And then he died, and they won, and people were fucking tearing the coach's daughter, and it was just a bad situation. It's hard to believe that it was 30 fucking years ago, and that kid that they had, because I did the math 2 nights ago, he's 34 years old now, that kid. She ended up having 3 other kids with football players and shit. That's none of my business. She was a great, sweet girl. God knows what her motives were. I don't fucking know. But it was such a great time for me. Like, I was a part of something that wasn't criminal. I mean, let's face it, I was faking the funk, but it was just great, man. It just felt great to talk to kids, and just, I don't know. It was short-lived. I went back to the University of Colorado and tried to sign up for 6 credits for continuing it on the sly. Just for me. I didn't care about the degree or anything at this point. And I got a letter like a month later telling me that I wasn't allowed on campus anymore, that they would have to call the police if I went on campus and charge me with trespassing because I had gotten a felony and I wasn't allowed on campus. And that, guys, I don't have to tell you. I mean, when I was watching this, I was thinking about all this, and I had tears in my eyes because it was the end. Like, I had this short-lived college fucking career, and I thought after prison that I could just make it all go away and walk back there like a fucking man, but they told me they were going to throw me on, and I got a lawyer, and I tried taking him to court, and it just got nowhere. And then we just made a pact. Listen, you're not really banned from campus, but by that time it was too fucking late, But it was such an interesting couple of years. It was something that, at least it gave me something to get up for every day. And the only regret I have at that whole fucking time is that I was involved in that whole Boulder fucking kidnapping thing. And the other thing was that I really didn't grasp at what was going on because I was high on coke half the fucking time. The cocaine was deep, deep, deep in my motherfucking system. So, but it was, man, I see people now, like young kids, and I talk to them and they're like, I'm not going to go to college or whatever. I wish everybody goes to college. I wish I could have gone. That's one of my shortcomings, and that's one of the things I wish. And I've tried to take classes at night, and I looked on schedules. It's not the same. It's never going to be the same. I'm glad I got the opportunity. It was very fucking exciting. But can you imagine me with a little CU shirt on with books and shit? Guys, I was selling it. Because I really, really wanted to believe that I could fucking make this happen. Real quick, let's take a minute here for a word from our motherfucking sponsors, Jack. What's up, you bad motherfuckers? The joint is brought to you by DraftKings. Listen, this Saturday night, UFC 288 is coming up. Aljamain Sterling versus Cejudo. You can place your bet on who will win the bantamweight title. You're going to use DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. And they're doing it again, guys. New customers can make a $5 bet and score $150 in bonus bets instantly. You can even take the MMA action to the next level with DraftKings same-game parlays. Whether it's a decision, a TKO, a submission, combine multiple bets for a shot at even a bigger fucking payout. If you're not messing around with DraftKings, you're slipping, motherfuckers. They got a happy hour every night from 6 to 9. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code JOEY. Bet $5 on any UFC 288 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. This Saturday on DraftKings Sportsbook with code JOEY. Joey. I'm going to take care of you. Now, if you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. If you're in Massachusetts, call 1-800-327-5050. But if you're cool, listen, let's get this party started. And on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus eligible states. Age varies by jurisdiction. See show notes for details. DraftKings, the kings. We're back, bitches. Don't forget, The NBA playoffs are fucking heating up right now. You got Miami, the Knicks, you got fucking, I think fucking Kansas City beat whatever last night. It don't matter. NBA playoffs are heating up. Download that DraftKings. You're going to have a good fucking time. I entered a contest that you play roulette, and for every dollar you spend, if the Knicks and the Heat score a fucking three-pointer, you get like $5. So I'm hoping, I'm just pulling for three. Yeah, who gives a fuck? It cost me $10 or something like that. You know, when I get bored, I don't mind playing a little roulette from time to time. I'm not a fucking degenerate gambler, but I enjoy it. So who gives a fuck? I ain't breaking the bank. I'm not fucking running from bookies and shit like that. What a fucking nightmare. Back to Boulder. No, man, that always sucked in. And I always wanted to talk about that, but when I wrote the book, I forgot all about that, how I really wanted it to work. I thought I was going to be Johnny White Man and fucking walk on campus, and they were going to love me, and I was going to get straight B's and shit. And my grades weren't bad. I could lie to you and tell you that, you know, my grades weren't fucking bad at all. I studied, I did my homework, you know, I did everything I could, but if I could do it all over again, that's what I would go for this time, the right way. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I want to be a frat guy. Like, I was too old to go into a frat. Fuck that shit. I don't want to hang out with 20 stinky guys and drink beer out of a bong and shit like that. I didn't want to do that. But just, you know, the CUOP program that I was in offered you, I mean, it was for retards. Guys, the CUOP minority program I was in, it was for retards. And part of the only thing I had, I was a little ashamed of it because I knew what it was. It was I was a statistic. That's all I was. I was a statistic. And at that time, CU Boulder had a lot of problems recruiting players of minorities because that's what else they were talking about, this documentary that was interesting. When I got to Boulder, I think the second year I got to Boulder, at 90, 25 football players had been arrested, and they didn't know what to do. They were black. They were African-American, so the cops didn't know how to handle them. One of the guys they showed in the documentary was J.J. Flanagan. I told my wife that guy saved my life. And J.J. Flanagan told the story on there that it was Halloween, and a bunch of white kids attacked him, like they were yelling at him and shit. I mean, this guy's scoring touchdowns every week, and the fucking Boulder, the kids were still yelling at him and calling him fucking the N-word and shit. Then the cops came, and they broke it up, and he was about to go home. And one of the girls that was with him called him the fucking N-word, and he held off and smacked her in the fucking face. Look, there was a lot of problems in Boulder at that time. He smacked her in the face. They arrested him, but they threw it out of court. And because of that, they made a law. It was called the J.J. Flanagan law, that if you call somebody a racial slur in the city limits of Boulder, you got one coming to you. Like, you got one coming for free. Like, you could smack that motherfucker, kick him, bite him, hit him with a bottle. They won't press charges. And that rule saved my life in 95. That's the reason I'm here. That's how much fucking, they were getting tortured. There was a couple guys that were real thugs. They were fucking, like, there was a bookie in Boulder that had a diner, and he was sending these black kids to beat up fucking white kids at college campuses. That was not good. But these kids were fucking good kids. I knew half of them. They were just 20-year-old fucking guerrilla football players. That's it. They were the biggest motherfuckers in the world. Before I left Boulder in 95, like, I was tight with Chad Brown, the linebacker. And I would go over there and buy weed from him once a week, and he would tell me, you got to stay outside because the snake is loose. He had these fucking snakes in his house. So I would, you know, I stayed in it for as long as I could. I spoke to them. I wasn't like a football brown nose. I didn't give a fuck about any of that shit. I wasn't going to play football. I was an old man. These guys were fucking real football players. It was just, it kept my spirit up, you know. So all those guys were getting fucking arrested, and I was there for all that shit. You know, I still remember them getting fucking, they had to bring in a black psychiatrist to get them, like, they didn't have any other people at the school. There was tons of rumors going around, but they were all fucking lies. They were saying that the quarterback was selling crack. I knew that fucking guy. I knew him well. He would come into the car wash. He was always very nice. Did he smoke pot? Maybe. He was from fucking L.A., you know? He was from downtown L.A., whatever the fuck he was, Compton or whatever. But, you know, man, if you got a chance to go to college, if you're a young fucking kid, you know what? I don't give a fuck if you got to take loans. I mean, you know, you got to investigate and see what the fuck they're giving out. I had a guy that was my fucking roommate that's what he did for a living. He got you Pell Grants and fucking scholarships and guys, it's just a matter of looking into it and attacking it. It's a lot of letter writing. It's a lot of sending shit. I mean, the process has probably changed today. But guys, I was getting a lot of scholarship money. I don't even know how much, but I know there was a small window for like 6 months. I was getting a check every week. $500, $250, $750, and nobody knew about this shit. Like, it wasn't that, they were like school money. Like, you would just sign up. I got money from every Chavez there is. Every Mexican gave me money. Every Cuban artist gave me money. It was fucking crazy. You know, and it was a program to keep you happy. But that you needed a 2.0 grade average. That's a D. Yeah. That's a D. You got 2 to 3 hours of tutoring per class per week. So they did everything they could to, you know, push you up the ladder, which, if you're a fucking immigrant, that's the last thing you want. You know, there's some people that like that shit, that like to just fucking get a D and move on. It wasn't for me. That was not, I looked at that D and I'm like, that seems okay, but I'm not going to go to school to get a fucking D. I'm going to go to school to at least get something out of this fucking shit. But those are the things that kind of made me ashamed of the program, was the D, the tutoring. There was like 8 other things that they basically held your hands throughout the whole thing. Was it cool? It was cool, but you know what, man? People go to school and they work hard and they study, and now you come in and all you need is a D to get another scholarship for the next semester. It just didn't cut right with me. But it was one of those things, man, that I'll never, ever forget. Like, I was so proud for a while when I got out of prison. I thought I was really going to go down the scholastic route. I thought I was going to be walking around Boulder with a pipe, you know, with Birkenstocks on, talking about engineering and shit, but it didn't work out for me, man, and I wish it would have. I always wanted to do something with law, you know, and that, listen, I go back to school now at 60 and get like a paralegal and learn how to do some fucking things, but fuck that.
Too much fucking bullshit, dude. Don't worry about it. That's what I did for 20 years.
Oh, paralegal? I didn't know that.
I was in the law office doing real estate foreclosures.
No shit.
Yeah. Taking people's houses.
You don't want to do it no more?
Fuck no. It's horrible. You hear all the bad stories, you know. All the shit with the people calling you. You got to deal with the people that can't pay their mortgage. You're basically like the go-between for the mortgage company because they don't want to deal with the people directly.
But I would like to do like a...
Or something good, like a doctor's office or something. That'd be cool.
No, I want to work with criminals.
Oh, yeah.
I want to work with fucking criminals.
What is that, public defender? You can work for like a...
No, I would work for a public defender's office or work for an attorney's office, but I would love for it to be in like a... In law. I would love for it to be in like a criminal, drugs, you know, shit like that I know about, because that makes it easier. You know, half of those attorneys don't get fucking high. So when you're defending somebody, you really kind of get lost. That's where I come in. I could be a mouthpiece, you know. I can't go up there and testify and say shit, but I could fill his lip and let him ask questions that, you know, could fucking help him win the case or whatever the fuck's going on here. I always loved that avenue. I thought somewhere along the line I would fucking fall into something, but again, you don't fall into fucking law, okay? Again, Uncle Joey's being fucking ridiculous here. You don't fall into law. You gotta fucking go in there and just fucking do it. But it's so weird when I was watching that documentary the other night. I really wish I could have done a podcast at that time with the documentary behind me, because it was just so fucking interesting. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I lived in a lot of places. I miss Boulder. I miss Boulder a lot. Like, I miss walking around those streets. I miss what it was. I mean, Boulder's completely different now. It's grown 10 times since I've been there. I don't even think there's any fucking hippies left, you know. But I love to go back with my daughter and my wife. I'm taking a break from the planes. United fucked me up last week. I can't go on old planes for a while. I got PTSD from United Airlines. It's over. Once I saw that dirty silverware, I'm like, fuck that shit. I can't deal with that stuff at all. Dirty silverware, guys. No, I can't. I got to move the fuck on. But in time, I'm going to go back to Boulder and say my goodbyes. You know, I've never gone back to Boulder since 95. Never. Didn't even, I always, when I went back to Denver to work the Comedy Works, I always said I'm going to take a ride to Boulder. I shit the bed in Boulder, guys. Not that somebody would point me out now in Boulder. I got plenty of friends still in Boulder. I still talk to them. I still keep in touch with them. The problem is, me, as Joey Diaz, I always felt that I shit the bed in Boulder. Boulder opened, I don't know, going into Colorado was like going into God's country. For me, it was, at 18. I had gotten my eyes open to a complete different world that I wouldn't have got my eyes open to living here. All these motherfuckers do is go to Florida and Atlantic City. You know, that's it. Jersey people go to Florida and Atlantic City. That's it. That's not me at all. I don't like fucking Florida. And Atlantic City, twice a year I could go and I'm happy. So when I went to Colorado, for me, I always felt like I was living in God's country. You know, and then I went there, and what did I do? I fucking kidnapped people. I robbed the university. I robbed the town. I got married. I fucking fucked that up. I got arrested. I went to prison. I mean, you know, and the hits don't fucking stop. You know, the hits just don't stop in Boulder. And you know what? I usually don't feel guilty about shit. Like, I don't give a fuck what you think. This Boulder thing really bothered me. My behavior in Boulder bothered me. Just little things. I almost tried to stab a guy. Guys, Boulder caught me at the wrong time, man. I was the age of 24 to fucking, 24? I got there in 86. I went to Boulder first in 83, but just to look, and I swore I'd never go back there. I went back in 86. And I stayed till 95 in Boulder, so that's 9 years. So when I left Boulder, I was about 32 or 33. I even on the way out, I fucking spit on them, because on the way out of Boulder, I had 2 driver's licenses. And I was going to Ogden, Utah to do my first triple tour. And fucking, I was like, man, I'm short on money. I got to fill up my gas tank. I filled up my gas tank, and I gave the guy my license, and I said, I'll be back. I left my wallet. He goes, take your time. And I never went back for my license. It was $28 or something like that. But again, guys, this is what I'm talking about. So it's taken me 28 years to forgive myself over Boulder. And now, maybe this year, we were thinking about it this July, but I think we're going to go next year. Give the fucking airlines a chance to get it together again. And I'm going to take my daughter and my wife to Boulder and walk around and, you know, tell them where I lived and show them where I went to school and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'll open up her eyes. Maybe she'll want to go out there when she's older. But I think it was a great place. It was a great place for me. Till this day, I'm very happy I did time, but I'm very ashamed that I did those things in Boulder. And it really, really, really fucking bothered me. So when I left there, I said, you know what? I'm going to take a breathe from Boulder. It's like doing time. Boulder is such a paradise that I took myself out of there. And I gave myself time, like Chris Cornell and Fell on Black Days. I just got, you know, I had to do it. Yeah, I had to do it. So now I'm ready. I paid my fucking dues to society. I paid my dues to myself. And now I could go back and walk around with my chin fucking high, you know, and that's how I feel. If you ever get a chance to go to anywhere in Colorado, go. I don't care if it's Telluride, especially if you live in a big city or something, go to Boulder. Go to Telluride. See those mountains, man. Those mountains changed my fucking life. They didn't change my life enough to stop stealing and snorting coke. I still laugh about. I had a friend that used to always go, "What the fuck are you doing in Boulder? Doing boulders?" That's what he would ask me. "What the fuck are you doing in Boulder? Doing boulders?" I wish I would have put more of this in the book, My Life in Boulder. I was in with some great people. I was in with some bad people. But I was in with some great people also that I still keep in touch with. And they're like fucking family to me. And the people that I was with there that moved away, I still keep in touch with them. I have friends in Mississippi, Columbus, Ohio from Boulder. I got a guy in Minneapolis that used to come to my shows at the House of Comedy. I got friends all over from those days. From 1985 in Boulder, I still got fucking friends. We're all a bunch of old sacks of shit. But I can't explain. I got something out of Boulder. Like, when you hear all my stories about growing up with my friends in Jersey, it was great. I had a blast with these motherfuckers. But it was nothing. My Boulder years added to that. I forget all the people that were in my life. But like Danny Feebles and his wife, I had some good fucking friends in Boulder. They were there with me when I started comedy. To this day, at least, let me tell you how much I fucked up. For the last 10 years, I've been trying to go back to the Boulder broker. And I even had a guy who worked there that reached out to me, and I asked him if he could put it together. I fucked up so much in Boulder, they won't even have me back at the broker, where I fucking started. Comedy Works will have me, but Boulder, am I ashamed of telling you this shit? Yes, I am. But at the other time, I'm proud of telling you this because I changed my life. Now I could walk in there and go, you know what? I did what I had to do. I'm back here. I'll go to Chautauqua Park. That's where the gods live. You know, I go to fucking North Boulder Park. I still remember where the guitar player from the Eagles made a statue for his daughter when she died there. And I would always go over there and eat lunch and just sit next to the statue. Not Glenn Fry, not the fucking guy they thrown out, but the guy who joined the Eagles, Rocky Mountain Way, the guy that sings all that shit. He lived in North Boulder when I lived there, and his daughter died when she was 4, and he fucking made like a dedication at North Boulder Park. Boulder was very good to me, guys, and I'm happy that I changed my life around and that I go back to Boulder with pride now. And that's the Monday motivation on fucking May 1st, guys. I'm excited this book is coming out tomorrow. And I'm excited it's over with. I put this to rest. I'm going to do Barstool Sports tomorrow when the book gets released. And then I'll keep you guys posted on the book signings. I haven't heard shit. I told her about this a month ago and I haven't heard shit. I haven't heard anything on New Jersey 12. I was trying to get on New Jersey 12 because I went to the gym the other day and I saw one of my friends, Bill Bellamy, put out a book and he was on fucking New York Live. And I'm like, I don't even want to get on New York Live. I don't want to do any of those shows. But I would like to go on New Jersey 12 and talk some shit and, you know, go down to Al Ponte restaurant with Erica and just talk some shit. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But there's something else I want to talk to you about. Laughing Gas has done it again, guys. I've been with Laughing Gas for 2 years now, and they sent me a little fucking bud last week of this Neptune or something, Runts or something like that. Holy fuck. They didn't send me enough of it. I would have gave you some. I was fucked up. And now they release these, motherfuckers. You ready? Out of respect for the book Tremendous, I have collaborated. And we've got, you ready for this, motherfuckers? Bam! Tremendous gummies. We also have white truffle gummies. We also have cocoa gummies. We also have fucking Rainbow Ruts gummies. We got them all. But this is Tremendous out of respect for the book coming out tomorrow. You can order these. We'll deliver these to you. They're 175 milligrams. And 175 of live resin. These do something to you a little differently than what you're used to. But who the fuck am I? Go to laughinggas.co and order these motherfuckers. You're going to be fucking happy you did. And as usual, the weed is stronger than ever. They're fucking tremendous, and I love them. But go to Laughing Gas Co. and take a look at these fucking monsters. I gave my man Mike, he's one of the first victims. I gave him some white truffle ones this week, and we're going to get the fucking party started right, because it's celebration week. So I'll be around smoking dope. Tuesday, I'm doing Barstool. I'm going to stop in North Jersey, get some lunch with my friend. And then I got a softball game Tuesday night with my daughter, so we can't celebrate nothing. But I'll let you know if I do something locally in Marlboro, Manalapan, something like that you guys could stop by. I'm still waiting to hear on the book company in Park Ridge, and I'm still waiting to hear from fucking New Brunswick and Freehold, and also Philadelphia Barnes and Nobles. How's that for you motherfuckers? Because how you going to release a book without motherfucking Barnes and Nobles? How am I going to release a book if I don't go down to Philadelphia and say hello? What kind of varmint would I be if I didn't go down to Philadelphia and say hello? So that's one of the stops I definitely want to go to. Don't fuck with me because I'm bringing fucking mace and everything else, cocksuckers. You guys in Philly are savages. But I love you motherfuckers. Hey, listen, man. Thank you very much for letting me come on here every week and talk shit. I know it's not what you motherfuckers expected, but it is what it is for right now. I'm trying my best. I'm just happy it's all behind me, you know. The church was fucking 3 years ago, man, and it still lives, and I'm still tight with Lee, and whatever people thought about why we closed it down, listen, I knew that this was coming. I knew better days were coming. We had to get out of there, and everything changed for everybody. Lee's doing great, Mike's doing great, and I'm doing great. But I got to thank you guys for always having all three of our backs and whatever ventures we're doing. So thank you. You know, listen, the podcast is what it is. I come up here, I talk some shit, I tell a story, and we abandon shit. What do you want me to keep you here all day and try to make believe I'm a genius that I'm not? I'm no fucking genius. But just remember, it's a new month with a whole new set of rules, and only you fucking control it. I love you motherfuckers. Have a great week. Stay black. I'll see you next Monday. Tip top motherfucking Magoo. And now for a word from my motherfucking sponsor, Jack. All right, guys. Thank you for listening today. Thank you for supporting me. Don't forget to go to laughinggas.co and get these fucking devil gummies. Oh, my God. 350 milligrams per jar. Anyway, smoking weed doesn't have to hurt your lungs. With Freeze Pipe, you save your lungs, and you get an ice cold hit every time. Here's how it works. You put the detachable chamber in the freezer, give it an hour, and when you're ready to rip one, you attach it to the bong, and ba-boom. Fucking tremendous. You won't feel nothing. You won't cough. Your throat won't be sore. You'll say, what the fuck is this? This is like fucking cryotherapy for my lungs. It's non-toxic. It freezes more quickly than water, and it stays frozen for longer. Freeze Pipe cools down the smoke by 300 motherfucking degrees. No more burning, no more coughing. Your throat will thank you. Whether you hit a pipe, a bubbler, a bong, or a dab, Freeze Pipe has got it all. So do me a favor, go to thefreezepipe.com. Again, thefreezepipe.com. Press in code Diaz and save 10% off your first order. Get your bong, pipe, or bubbler today. If you can smoke it, Freeze Pipe will fucking make it. That's how we roll. The joint is also brought to you by Stamps.com. Listen, whether you own a small business or a big business, you and I both know every penny counts. Why are you messing around? With Stamps.com, I'm going to save you time and money on postage with premium discounts and great rates. All you need is a computer and a printer to print your own stamps at home like George Washington. No waiting in long lines at the post office. They'll even send you a free scale. Who's better than Stamps.com? Nobody. I've been with them for close to 15 years. My wife had to send out packages this week. It made it so easy. They also have... They're gonna fucking give you a discount, a huge discount on USPS and UPS. Plus, they'll automatically tell you the cheapest and fastest shipping options. Who else does that? Nobody. So set your business up for success when you get started with Stamps.com today. Use promo code Joey. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter code Joey. It's that simple. I want to thank Stamps.com. I want to thank the Freeze Pipe. And I want to thank DraftKings for making this possible for you. I love you, motherfuckers. Stay black. Have a great week. and I'll see you next Monday. Tip top magoo.